Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Subway Surfers. This is basically, essentially, pretty much my one-man podcast. And it's quite silly to think that this is supposed to be my games channel and separate from when I like to rant about things over on my Rants channel. But at the same time, this deserves some good commentary because the same stuff happens every single game. So I need to commentate over it. I'm kind of, every episode I'm like, I need a new topic. And if nothing new and exciting's happened in my life, then what do I have to talk about? So, what I decided to talk about today is TV series. Mainly, specifically, the one I've just finished today, actually. And that was Stranger Things. Stranger Things, I've heard about for years. Obviously, it came out when, I think it was like 2014, 15, 16, something like that. I was in primary school. I remember me mates used to talk about it all the time, had no clue what they were talking about. I didn't have Wi-Fi when I was that young. Didn't have access to... What even would you have called it back then? Would it have been cable back then? I don't even know, right? But Netflix, it's still Netflix, obviously, but whatever. Didn't have access to all that sort of stuff, right? And in recent years, when I've got Netflix, I've watched stuff. I've watched iconic series like Friends, Big Bang Theory. I've watched movies like Wolf of Wall Street. But most importantly, the greatest thing I've watched, I've watched a lot of stuff, right? But just nothing that really springs to mind. The best thing I've watched by a mile, easily, was Breaking Bad. And I did watch El Camino following that. And I started watching Better Call Saul, but I realised it was 8 seasons long. I didn't know if I wanted to put up with 8 seasons quite just yet. So I thought, I'll go back to it. So I started watching Stranger Things anyway. And I've just now finished the end of it. I'm going to walk through some of it and say what I think. I think season 1 was kind of unbeatable. Because season 1 had all the fresh ideas. It was like fresh in our brain. The kids were younger, so it seemed like creepier. But also the mystery was alive, right? And then we'll get to season 2. And it's just, like, it wasn't bad. But at the same time, I was like... It's like they've tried to resuscitate a dead story. Like, they tried to, like, find a way to bring the Upside Down back and all that sort of stuff. So I was just kind of like, eh. And the whole thing with Elle running off and finding her sister, well, I get that's a key point in the story. It was just fucking awful, let's be honest here. Season 3 was quite a lot better, but obviously they'd grown up a lot and they looked a lot different. And I was just like, don't know about that one. Season 4 was long. Season 4 was long and boring. Like, every episode was like an hour and a half, and I'm just like, I don't know how much of this I can put up with. And honestly, I don't know how they got away with a lot of the stuff, like how they managed to bring everything into a story. But quite interesting how they tried, to be honest. But then season 5 came, and season 5 is caught a lot of slack from people. I'll be real. It's called a lot of slack because everyone's saying like it's just badly produced, somewhat overproduced, somewhat just bad storytelling, loads of sort of stuff. And I'll be honest, it was not that bad at all. It was by no shot that bad. I think it was better than season 4. I think it's probably I don't know here. I think maybe season 1's obviously the best, then season 3. And then I think season 5 was right in the middle with 4 and 2 being worse. 4 wasn't bad either. It just had no... Well, it had significance, but the ending wasn't all, wasn't all that, really. I mean, yeah, Hopper came back, but what a like, underwhelming reaction from Eleven when her supposed father had died, so they all thought. And then 2 years later, he rocks up alive, and you just smile and hug him like, the fuck? Yeah, so pointless thing is season 5 is not that bad. And I'll be honest, there were moments where I was kind of like, I get it. Like the whole Will coming out thing. And don't get me wrong, it's not because he came out, that's not what I'm on about. It's just the way they did it. Like, they've all figured out what the Upside Down is and that it's a gateway to the other world, right? And they're all devising a plan of how to end it all, right? And they're all busy going off other places. Some people are going to get the truck, some people are going to the fucking army ground, some people are armouring up. Like, everyone's getting ready to go to war. And Will turns around and decides, yeah, this is the time I'm going to tell everyone. And everyone sits there and seriously listens, while I'm like, aren't we supposed to be getting ready for battle? And I can respect that they tried to put it into the storyline in a way, you know, because they were banking on the whole fear thing. I mean, Vecna used fear as a weapon. Not even Vecna, just the powers that be, the mind flare or whatever it's called. The thing that consumed Vecna was fear, so he's trying to consume everyone else with fear. And Will's fear was everyone finding out and hating them. So I kind of get how they tried to integrate it, but at the same time, it just seemed very forced. And I was just like, you kind of lost me there. You know? Kind of lost me. And then the other part where they lost me was when Nancy and Jonathan and Steve were all in I don't even know what you call it, the lab, Hawkins' lab. And Jonathan and Nancy were stuck in that room where everything was leaking, and then they were, you know, addressing all the issues why they don't like each other and all the confessions they had. And it was really weird because you thought this is the moment where they're going to break up and finally Steve's going to get Nancy. Because I thought this whole time, since season 1, Steve deserved Nancy. Because since season 1, Steve changed his whole lifestyle. He cut off his friends and he just changed his whole personality for Nancy. And Nancy never even wanted him. She wanted Jonathan. Which is mental because Steve looked better than Jonathan. I'm starting to think they did it because Nancy and Jonathan are seen in real life, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was rooting for Steve to get her back the whole time. And honestly, in season 4, I thought it would happen. But it didn't. And then they started doing this thing, obviously after they confessed to each other, that like they do like each other and they realise their issues. And then he pulls out a proposal ring that he didn't need to bring up in the first place. Because if you were going to propose to her to fix your problems, right, and then you realise that's not what I need to fix my problems, then don't pull it out. But he pulled it out anyway and then said, will you not marry me? And it's just like, are you dumb? Like, what is the point in that? Just don't bring it out at all. Save it for when it matters. It felt so stupid. And then the fact that they were both on the same page, like if me and my girlfriend were confessing things and then we were like crying and like sort of made up, but like we understand each other now, I would not say, now will you not marry me? Like, what does that mean? That scene actually really irritated me. I don't know if there's something I'm just not getting here, but it was quite annoying. But yeah, I didn't think season 5 was that bad. And they did think out the ending very well because they had lots of follow-up. Like, the ending happened, like, 30 minutes before the episode ended, you know, and I had all the follow-up after it, so fair play. And then they've kind of revealed that Eleven's still alive anyway, so they're probably not doing a season 6 anyway, because that's it. But thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.